Hi, this is Bill Steffen. Guess what? Today could be the warmest day of 2025 so far, at least in Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo areas and many inland areas. I think we'll reach the mid to upper 70s here this afternoon. We've been as warm as 76. We could reach 78 today. I've got out for Grand Rapids and close to 80 for those areas along and south of Interstate 94. So let's take a look at our severe weather chances. We are in the light green area for today. And this is not a sure thing by any means. There is a chance, an outside chance of a shower, thunder shower. Less than 50% of you will see any rain. But if you do, I don't think we'll see any severe weather here. It would just be a run-of-the-mill garden variety type of thunder shower. We just have a level 1 or marginal risk from Colorado on down toward the Rio Grande Valley. And so really not a lot of severe weather expected in the United States today. We move ahead to Friday, and about the same story. Most of West Michigan is in the general thunderstorm outlook, and I would not be surprised if we had a strong thunderstorm or two that moved through the area here Friday and along a little bit of a cool front that's coming through, but we're not anticipating widespread severe weather or anything like that. Now, we got one more slide to show you on severe weather, and this is for next Tuesday. And you can see that yellow color there comes up into Michigan. This is for, that would be the equivalent of a level 2 risk, and that comes up to at least I-94, runs from northeast Texas up into southern Michigan. And this is for a little bit more significant risk of some isolated damaging wind and hail. And again, that would be next Tuesday afternoon. We'll have more on that later on. It will not thunderstorm over the weekend. Well, now, listen to this message from Michelle.
And we are having so much fun being vloggers, and we're so thankful to our sponsors for coming on board with us and making it all possible. So, Complete Care Concierge, LLC has you covered. They are the fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service serving all of West Michigan. If you need your home cleaned, your apartment, your condo, your office, your business, a special project, they have you covered. And whatever your service area is in West Michigan, wherever you are located, they can serve you. They even clean on the weekends. 616-264-1397, 616-264-1397. And now a word from Ace Handyman Services.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
That sounds good. Take a look at this. There's a lot of green on that map. This is total precipitation over the next 66 hours. And as you can see, it's pretty much coast to coast. A lot of areas seeing some much needed rain. About the only state here that's not seeing anything is Arizona. You can see there's a little bit of precipitation in the Sierra Nevada mountains out in California. And the more significant rain is falling in where you see that yellow color, parts of the south and the high plains. And as I've said, the rains in the plains are most welcome, as I think they're in for a pretty hot summer from West Texas on up into South Dakota especially. In terms of snowfall, there's still a little bit of that going on in the Rocky Mountain areas and in the Sierra Nevadas. No snow east of the Mississippi River. And this has got to be about the first time that there's absolutely not a flake anywhere. And the reason for that is it was just going to be too warm for that. Interesting, 2 Michigan ski resorts will be open this coming weekend. Boyne Mountain, and they're going to try and keep the one hill open and one lift so that you can get up there and ski. So if you want to do that this weekend, Boyne Mountain anticipates that they're going to last into May with that, and Mount Bohemia is at least going through this weekend. They have had 307 inches of snow so far this season, and I think they're hoping it's over by now. At least most people are. But it was quite a snowy winter up there in the UP. All right, some interesting information. Now, that was the first, I think, pleasure boat that I've seen out there, they are not fishing. They're just kind of tooling around, enjoying the day. Lake Michigan water temperature at mid-lake is 40. That's all. Eee, that is cold. Inland lakes are starting to warm up a little bit and will with the sunshine and warmer temperatures here. Reed's Lake afternoon water temperature was about 53. The temperature of the surface water of Reed's Lake goes up and down by about 3 to 4 degrees between early morning and late afternoon. So the sunshine and warmer temperatures during the day make a difference. And down on the bottom, for anybody that's heading south, the water temperature there at Tampa, Florida, this afternoon was at a very pleasant 77 degrees, and that was in Tampa Bay. All right, now let's take a look at our headlines. Warm and mostly dry for today. Can't totally rule out a shower or thunder shower. Better bet for a shower or storm comes on Friday, but even that wouldn't last all day or anything like that. Dry weather for Saturday and Sunday. This is going to be a great weekend to be outdoors and won't be super hot, but a good weekend for getting the yard work started and all that. And watch for a storm next Tuesday. I believe that is April 29th. Well, here's a look at the forecast here for today. I'm being a little optimistic and going 78. That would be the warmest temperature of the year so far. 53 during the early morning. And as you can see, we got temperatures here getting up into the, the 60s over by Lake Michigan here. Just a second, excuse me, while I fiddle with this here. All right, east-southeast wind should be fairly light today at 5 to 10 miles an hour. I bet the lake breeze kind of overcomes that, so if you're by Lake Michigan, it may only be in the mid to upper 60s here during a good portion of the day. All right, let's take a look at temperatures across the area. You can see 79 for Grand Rapids, 81 for Three Rivers. Wow, that's pretty neat. But you can see that little green strip right along the lakeshore where temperatures will probably only be in the upper 50s to mid 60s here this afternoon. The UP warms up into the upper 40s to low 50s. For Friday, it cools off a little bit here. And a little bit of a cool front coming through, with it a shower or thunder shower. It still reaches the mid 70s down toward the Indiana border. But note South Haven at just 59 degrees. So as warm as it's going to be inland, it will not be that warm near Lake Michigan. And then finally for the day on Saturday, pretty nice day. A lot of green out there, and green means temperatures in the 60s, a lot of low to mid 60s across the southern part of the state. And up in the UP, temperatures may approach 50 here during the afternoon. Should see a good amount of sunshine Saturday and on Sunday, and that's pretty neat. All right, let's go on then and take a look at what's ahead for the next 5 days. We've got 4 days that are partly to mostly sunny. Warmest day is today, Thursday, at 78. Good bet for a shower, thunder shower here on Friday. Again, the chance of rain this Thursday today is not zero. It's about 20%. And then lots of sunshine Saturday, Sunday, and I'm hoping for Monday too. And you can see temperatures, nothing cold out there. And in fact, if we move on and take a look at the long range outlook here, the 8 to 14 day outlook, everyone's asking me whether they can plant stuff. And, there's always those sandy valleys that are in Newaygo County north that can get frost into late May. But if you're, I do not see any frost coming or any freezing temperatures over the next 10 days or so. So you make the decision, but we're really looking like we're moving towards spring. The blossoms ought to be coming out here pretty quickly, and the tulips should be up as well. Below average precipitation here for the first week of May. So all in all, nice day today. Get out and enjoy a rather warm spring day here in West Michigan. Now let's bring in Michelle, and let's thank our sponsor once again. But what you got for us?
All right. So something that interested me today was the spring warm-up. I thought it would be fun to make a chart of just the high and low temperatures in April in Grand Rapids for the month so that we could all watch them trend upward and be happy that it's spring. So here we go. So here's our chart of high and low temperatures in Grand Rapids for the month. And
That's
I suppose they're backwards. I should have made the high temperatures the red color and the low temperatures the blue color, but I guess we're being ironic.
As long as you know, and it's kind of interesting, you get these peaks and you get valleys here. So, overall, you can see the temperatures here do do warm up. And we haven't had a lot of super warm days. We haven't had a lot of super cold days. It's been
It kind of looks like a stock market if you're not mad at it.
yeah,
Like
right.
up and
Well,
to the right with some highs and lows.
the market's gone up the last couple of days. I don't know what it's doing today, but we'll see.
So there you go.
I tell people who are really upset now, I said, look, at what matters is what the price of the stock was on the day you buy it and on the day you sell it. And it can bounce all over the place during the middle, and it really doesn't matter.
Well, this
So-
is my absolute favorite time of the year when summer is all in front of us and it's just about to begin.
Yeah, and it's nice. I can go out to my 3-season porch and watch the birds come to my feeders there and enjoy the weather outside, open up the windows and let that fresh air in.
All Steffens love a porch.
That's true. My dad certainly did. And my
So here
grandfather.
are our weather extremes for April 24 in Grand Rapids. The highest ever was 86 degrees in 1915. I believe they had a heat streak in that time period that year.
Yes,
and
and that very often happens where you get 4 or 5 days in a row
Yeah.
that are not record heat.
And then the lowest of all time was 25 degrees, and that happened in 2015. And I'm old enough to say that that was recently.
That's exactly 100 years after the record high for the day.
Oh, fun fact. That's true. And then in 1980, we got 2.4 inches of snow on April 24.
And it can happen. We've had snow twice on May that we've had 5.5 inches of snow in Grand Rapids twice on May the 9th.
Wow.
Somebody sent me a really nice picture from the Greenville newspaper of snow from 1927 that was on the ground on May the 9th. So that was
I
pretty.
remember school getting canceled for a couple days in May when I was in the 10th grade, which would have
Mhm.
been 1998 because of some crazy storm we had had.
Yeah, I remember one.
May.
I think it was the second week in May that Marquette had a foot of snow, and they had to cancel school. And I met
And-
somebody from Marathon, Canada, which is Ontario, which is north of Lake Superior, and he can remember having a snow day in June. They had almost a foot of snow, and they packed it in and said no. And that's like when the sun is highest in the sky in June.
And I guess you were doing live cut-ins from our house the
Mhm.
day after the storm and there was no school. And I got back to school and my classmates were like, "Were you there? Were you holding the camera?" I was like, "No, I was asleep. I didn't even know it happened. Why would I get up for that? It was a snow day."
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, there's an Abraham Lincoln conference going on in Kalamazoo, and I cannot think of anything that could be more fun. So if you can make it, the 2025 Abraham Lincoln presenters, it's a whole conference all about Abraham Lincoln, and yes, people are dressing up. So the host hotel is the Home 2 Suites with events at the Hilton Garden Inn. And it's in Kalamazoo this year because Abraham Lincoln took a trip to Kalamazoo in 1856 to give a speech. They've got panels, lectures, there's a museum tour, they're having a Civil War ball, there's going to be a play. It's going to be so much fun. And I'm so bummed I'm in the wrong state and I can't go. But
Yeah.
lincolnpresenters.com for more information.
Yeah, if you're able to go, enjoy.
Exactly. It just
Yeah.
sounds like such a fun way to make history real. So I hope everyone there has the best time.
Mm-hmm. Neat.
And
that
another,
is Zwan in over in Holland.
another option for the 24th for your evening is there's a presentation about the windmill on Windmill Island. The Windmill Island manager is going to give a talk about it, and that's at the Holland Museum from 6 to 8 p.m. You can register online at holland.org under events.
That would be really neat. And since the weather's
Yeah.
going to be cooperating, that would be a fun thing to do.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the windmill there you see in the picture is 12 stories high. It's seldom that it runs, but it does work. And on rare occasion, they do fire that up. And it is from the Netherlands.
So that got me wondering when tulip time is, and it's May 2 to 11
Mhm.
this year. And I was wondering, is it the only tulip festival? And no, it turns out there's quite a few of them around the US in a handful of states. They're pretty much all in April. Ours is one of the later ones. And fun fact, there are about 75 species of tulips.
Right. And I believe they plant about 3 million tulips in Holland. And they have the tulip lanes that you can go from one end to the other. The blossoms will be out. They'll be pretty spectacular. It's really an amazing festival. And the parade would be the 10th, I think, would be the big parade that's there.
All right, so that's coming up. And National Trout Festival is on in Kalkaska. And I hope I found the right spot for Kalkaska because I didn't look it up. I just guessed. But I think that's about where Kalkaska is. So they're doing everything. There's a parade, concert, fairgrounds, a flea market, car show. There's a road race, everything trout. I'm pretty sure I did the road race a handful of years ago. Anyways, nationaltroutfestival.com if you're in the Kalkaska area or you'd like to go to the Kalkaska area. Lots of stuff going on there.
And the snow is all gone. I understand even the piles are gone up there right now. And they had a lot of snow up there in northern lower Michigan. Lake effect off of Lake Michigan, and even a little bit of extra moisture from Lake Superior contributed to the heavy snow totals. Not too far away, Gaylord had a record snowfall, over 200 inches fell. I believe they were up to 204 at Gaylord. And then poor Gaylord, I think I mentioned this before, they had the tornado 3 years ago. The EF3 went right through the downtown area there. And then they had, record snowfall this year. And then they had the big ice storm. I'm sure Kalkaska's ready to wonder who's picking on them.
And I don't know if it's still true, but back in the day, district court and circuit court were in different locations. And that's pretty unusual. So if you ever have court up there, make sure you know where you're going because I might have learned that the hard way the first time.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. You worked in Benzie County there for a while.
Correct.
Yeah. Whitecaps are awesome.
Yeah. So I was wondering how they were doing and they're off to a great start.
12 wins and 4 losses. That's pretty cool. And they are in town with the Dayton Dragons and the weather should be great. So come on out and support your Whitecaps in beautiful Comstock Park. Neat. A lot of information there, a lot of activities to go through. So we're happy that you brought all of those to our effort here, Michelle. Thank you so much for coming on board and following us here until the end of the video. Remember, we're at billsteffen.com, or you can see our YouTube channel at Bill Steffen 616. Have yourself an awesome day. Enjoy the warm air.